Oh, yes. This is where the action is. Honestly, custom constraints, right? So in the last clip, we looked at how to filter nodes based on attributes of, let's say, the Docker daemon, right, running on any of our nodes. And it was things like, which storage driver is it using, or which OS is it running on? And that's great and all, but massively more powerful when we can start sticking our own labels on our nodes. So think about it, right? Labeling them as, I don't know, on premises or in Azure or AWS or part of green builds or blue builds. This can be really powerful in the real world. So here's how we do it. We literally add labels to the engine daemon when it starts. And the way you're probably going to do this in production is through the Docker config file or whatever permanent method your orchestration tool such as Docker Cloud or Docker Datacenter or whatever allows, yeah? But we're a bit low level here and we're on Ubuntu, so we're going to open etc default docker. Ooh, flipping heck. I'm not liking those colours. You know what? Let's try that again, but with nano. Yeah, okay, that's better. So down here on the Docker ops line, if we jump to the end, fix that. And let's say, well, we're on node 1 here. So let's say node 1's on-prem in our Sunderland 1 facility. And let's say it's in the production zone. And you know what? Let's go one more and we'll say it's part of the blue build infrastructure. Alright, let's save that. Restart the daemon. Make sure our changes took. Remember, this node's not configured to automatically append keys and the likes to client commands, so we're stuck with this hideous long command. A nice little reminder, I think, of how much easier life is on our designated client where we've configured all of this as automatic. But there we go. There they are down at the bottom there. Now speaking of our client, if we skip back there, okay, those labels have already been picked up by the cluster here. Now let me pause the video here and go and add some labels to our other two daemons and then meet you back here when I'm done. Okay, back. Let's update that Docker info. Okay, great. Now what have we got? Okay, well, we've got a messy screen to start with, but essentially node 1, that's in Sunderland 1, production, and they're part of the blue build infra. Node 2, that's in Sunderland 1 as well. It's also in prod, and this time it's part of the green build infrastructure. Node 3, this old boy or girl is in AWS. We've got it in the DMZ zone, and it's part of blue. Magic. And all of those labels here, right? These are obviously available to Swarm and for us to use as filters. Not to mention Docker Cloud, Docker Datacenter, and any of the other third-party tools that leverage Swarm. Well, with that in place, we can easily pick and choose which nodes to deploy containers to. So here we go, right? Let's imagine we've got live running on green builds right now, and we need to push some updates to blue. And I know, obviously in the real world, this will be highly automated and the likes, right? But under the covers, right, it still boils down to commands like these that leverage the labels we've just configured. So maybe we go docker run, but if we add in E, constraint, make it blue, let's add another one, and we'll say production. Well, before we hit return, looking at our cheat card here, blue and prod, that's node 1 in my books. Shall we see? Node 1 it is. Now look, I've no intention of beating this to death. I'm sure you get the picture. It's just magic. Pure and simple magic. Now of course we're only scratching the surface here. Like I said, tools like Docker Cloud and Docker Datacenter and a whole raft of third-party products support these labels here. And they make life great. So yeah, that's custom constraints. And with that, let's wrap the module up.